Hello, everyone. Um, my name is Fadari. Just as discussed earlier, in at the beginning of March, I want to show you the final position, the final performance of the scrapping report at the end of March 2021. So I'm going to share with you my screen for us to be able to see how the markets moved in the month of March. Earlier in the beginning, I told you at that time, as you can see my screen, at that time we were still within the period of week 1 and week 2. And then I said that week 1 and week 2 indirectly is going to give us an idea of the likely direction of the market. That if the market, as you can see here, for example, AUD Japan yen, of the colored position here now that you can see, the highest price here is 85 and the lowest price is 81.9. So at that point in time, we didn't know what was going to happen in the course of the month. But over the course of the month, according to these reports now, you can see that our lowest price remained 81.9 throughout the month. Even despite the fact that in week 5, the market came down to as low as 82.25, but it never crossed the 81.9 benchmark. So, however, on the upside, the market went from 85 to 85.45 in week 4. So, in the course of the month, throughout the month of March, according to this report, our lowest point was achieved in week 1 and our highest point was achieved in week 4. So just like I said every month, according to this review, one of them is likely to be in week 1 or week 2 and the other will be above week 2. So although there are some instances where we had both of them within week 1 and week 2 or both of them out of week 1 and week 2, but it's always going to be probably a 5% worst case scenario if we have that situation. So that is what has happened. So let's say, so look at AUD USD. Our highest point was 0.7978, which was achieved in week 1. So which means at that point our lowest was 0.762. But at the end of the period, our lowest came to 0.753, which was achieved in week 6. So that means all the way throughout March for AUD USD, it was more of a sell market, unlike AUD Japan yen that we saw was a buy market. So assuming we've taken positions, we've used this analysis and said, okay, if the price should go above 0.7978, we're going to buy. But as much as the price is within and below that position, we are going to be selling. So that would have given us the best results in the course of the month until week 6, where we got our lowest point at 0.753. So this is more like a predictor for us to help to identify what action to take and how best to take them, and to begin to monitor the market in the course of the week, in the course of the day, as the market projects, as the market moves, to be able to give us more assurance of where the market is going and what action we need to take, whether to buy or to sell. So in crude oil as well, our highest point was reached in week 3. I think that was just the first day or second day of week 3. And after then, the price came down until week 5 at 57.2. For DAX as well, the highest was reached on week 6, while the lowest was reached on week 1. Euro AUD, we had both points already reached at week 1. So all the rest of the month, weeks of the month, the market was just struggling between the highest and the lowest, but it never moved out of those positions. For Euro GBP, the market came to a low trend in week 6. So as at week 1, we had 0.859, 0.853 as our lowest, but it moved down to 0.85 in week 6. For Euro JPY, as at week 1, our highest was 130, our lowest was 127.47. But at the end of the month, the highest changed to 130.5 in week 4. For Euro USD, in week 1, we have our highest and the market came down to 1.17 in week 6. For FTSE, as at week 1, our lowest was 6430 and our highest was 6715, but our highest moved to 6808 in week 4. For GBP JPY, our lowest for week 1 was 147.3, and at that time our highest was 150.75. But at the end of the month, the highest rose to 153.2 in week 6. So this was a buy market all the way down. For GBP USD, as at week 1, our highest was 1.4241 and our lowest was 1.377. But at the end of the month, our lowest moved to 1.3669 in week 5. For gold, at that point, our lowest was 1687, our highest was 1816. But our lowest moved down to 1675 in week 3, while our highest was still the same throughout the month. For Nasdaq, our lowest at that point was 12211, and which was achieved in week 2, and our highest was 13635. And for the rest of the month, the market was just struggling in between those two figures. So we never had any new peak after that week 2 period for Nasdaq. Same thing with New Zealand. In New Zealand USD, our week 1 highest was 0.7463, our lowest was 0.709. By the end of the month, at week 5, our lowest moved down to 0.6942. For S&P, our lowest was achieved in week 2 at 3725, and the price, our highest was 3938. But at the end of the month, in week 6, our high rose to 4035. For silver, our lowest in week 1 was 24.8, our highest was 28.35. At the end of the month, our highest remained the same at 28.35, but our lowest moved to 23.76 in week 6. For USD CHF, our lowest was 0.894 in week 1, and at that point at week 2, our highest was 0.9319. But at the end of the month, our highest moved to 0.9472, which was achieved in week 6. So if we have taken a buy, we would have been in profit all the way down. And finally on USD JPY, week 2, our highest was 108.66, our lowest was 104.9. At the end of the month, our high rose to 110.96, which was achieved in week 6. So this also was a buy market all the way. So the earlier we quickly identify the information, the better for us to be able to make projections ahead, and we'll be able to get the result. So even though the market might change on both sides at the end of the period, but it helps us to be able to make projections better. It helps us to be able to make adjustments and helps us to know the direction that the market is going and what actions we need to take. So hopefully, as well, by God's grace, in the month of April that we are just starting, we are already prepared the report, and I'll be sharing the projections for the month of April as well with you. So again, it will help us to give us an idea of where likely the direction of the market is going to be. So from this, like out of this now, I have 18 products on this tablet. So let's see which of them, all the 18 products, let's see how much we have for those that had week one, week those that had week one and week two alone, week one to two alone, those that are outside, that's those that are week one and above, sorry, week one and above, and finally for those. Okay, so those are just the two conditions. I think they are just the major two conditions. Those are within week one and week two, and those that are more than week one and week two. So for those within week one and week two alone, we have one, Nasdaq, two, Euro AUD. So we have just two products. So let's see those that had week one and week two in one place and the other in above week two. So one of them must only be within week one and week two, and the other one must be above week two. So let's see how many products we have for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have 15 products having week one or week two and the other one. And for just one product, which is crude oil, we have week 3, greater than week 3. So that is just one product. So out of the 18 products, you can see only 2 of them didn't change out of the position that we had as at the beginning of the month, the first 2 weeks. 15 other products went out of the way from the position that we had within the first 2 weeks, according to this report, and only one product went both sides out of the 2 weeks. So you can see that in all, we achieved positive result of, let's look at it in percentage. So we have 83% of the market in completing the month with positive results, using the template. So if you have been able to identify that market direction, then we would have made more bids towards that direction and would have been able to achieve our results at the end of the month or at the end of the period. So that's just it for the BOVA scrapping report. So the scrapping report will help us to identify the direction of the market and enable us to take positions towards the direction of the market. So thank you very much. And hopefully we'll be able to show more of it in the month of April. we'll be able to predict as well, just as we did for this March period, and also we'll be able to follow together in the month of April. Thank you very much. I remain yours, Oluwase Fadari. If you have any question or any inquiries, you can reach me on fadinvest@yahoo.ie, fadinvest@yahoo.ie. Thank you very much. Have a great month of April and a lovely Easter period ahead. Cheers. Bye.